The realm. Do you know what the realm is? It's the 1,000 blades of Aegon's enemies. A story we agree to tell each other over and over till we forget that it's a lie.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 video. Well, here we are again, my friends. It's Sunday night, and another episode of Game of Thrones has just ended. Hopefully, by now, most of you have noticed I like to upload a video every time a new episode is over. Since tonight's episode was the battle for Winterfell, I'm sure everyone is ready to talk about all the crazy shit that just happened. I would definitely love to do that as soon as I can. By the time you're watching this video, I will be working on my breakdown video for that episode. Hopefully I can get that out as early as Monday morning. As I sit here right now making this video you're watching, I have no idea what happens in that battle. I have my own theories, of course, but since I'm recording this on Saturday, I have no idea who wins the battle or which characters die during the battle. As you can see by the title of this video, I want to take a look ahead at the next big battle, which should be right before the season finale. Episode 5 will be directed by Miguel Sapochnik, the same man that directed tonight's episode. This will be the battle for the Iron Throne in King's Landing. Now, before we get started, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Whether you need a domain, a website, or even an online store, I would highly recommend that all of you go and check out Squarespace. As I said before, I want to talk about the final battle for the Iron Throne. Cersei Lannister still remains to have full control over King's Landing as of right now. Assuming Jon and Daenerys survive the battle at Winterfell, they will eventually need to go down and take care of Cersei Lannister. They obviously cannot leave her on the Iron Throne. In my opinion, Cersei has no intentions of leaving King's Landing. Even if all of her soldiers are defeated, I still think Cersei would rather blow up the city before she ever handed it over to someone else. Like many of us have suspected, there may still be a lot of wildfire under the city. The Mad King had this stuff underneath the entire city. There is also a very good chance that Qyburn may have made Cersei her own wildfire.
My little bird's investigated. And is it just a rumor or something more? More. Much more.
So, even if they do back Cersei into a corner, she might kill everyone in King's Landing. I think all of the survivors from the Battle of Winterfell will be able to take over King's Landing, but how will they be able to get to Cersei before she does something really crazy? Whenever they are able to get inside King's Landing, Cersei might lock herself inside of the Red Keep where no one can reach her. So I started to think of some ways we could see some of the characters get inside of the Red Keep to kill Cersei and or Qyburn before they do anything stupid. Now, I'm sure most of my subscribers already know, I think Tyrion Lannister will eventually betray Daenerys Targaryen. I feel like they have been foreshadowing this for quite some time. However, let's say Tyrion does not betray Dany. Even though I think he will, there is always a chance that maybe he doesn't. As we all know, this character has been on a bit of a downslide as of lately. He continues to do things to make Daenerys question his allegiance. So I started wondering, what can Tyrion do that could actually help Daenerys and maybe even get some of his respect back? Even Sansa Stark said she thought Tyrion was the cleverest man in Westeros, but he continues to do stupid things. Well, maybe Tyrion can come up with something clever that can help them win the battle for King's Landing. If you remember, last season, he did have a strategy to get inside of Casterly Rock. Since he knew the castle very well, he knew how to access the sewer system that led back into the castle. That is how the Unsullied were able to get inside.
My sister became queen at the age of 19. When I reached manhood, my father put me in charge of all the drains and cisterns in Casterly Rock.
A most high-born plumber.
The water never flowed better, and all the shit found its way to the sea.
Interesting thing about my father. He built our house up from near ruin. He built our army. He built Casterly Rock as we know it. But he didn't build the sewers. That was beneath him. So he gave the job to the lowest person he could find. Me.
Now, as we all know, that did not work out very well. Not only were most of the Lannister soldiers on their way to High Garden, but Euron Greyjoy also showed up and sunk Dany's ships. This obviously made Tyrion look really stupid. That made Dany think that maybe he doesn't want to defeat his family after all. Now, although this did not work at Casterly Rock, maybe this could work at King's Landing. This is also another castle that Tyrion knows very well. In fact, him and Varys snuck out of the castle right after Tyrion killed his father. This section of the castle is also located inside of the Red Keep, so we know he definitely knows how to get in and out without anyone noticing him. Now, I highly doubt that he would go and do this himself, but maybe he could send someone, like let's say Arya Stark, how to gain access inside of the Red Keep in the middle of the night. We know that Arya Stark is one of those characters that could get around undetected. She learned how to do this during her training at the House of Black and White. Even during this season, we heard Jon Snow say, "How did you sneak up on me?" So we know that Arya is very light on her feet. Arya can even wear someone else's face once she gets inside. That would mean even if someone did see her, they would not know that it was Arya Stark. She does have the ability to disguise herself as a man, so she could potentially disguise herself as a Lannister guard or even someone from the City Watch. That would give Arya complete access to the Red Keep without anyone getting suspicious. Also, way back in the second season, there were several references of the hidden tunnels under King's Landing. These scenes just so happened to include Tyrion Lannister because he was the one that got the maps of the city.
Stannis knows King's Landing. He knows where the walls are strongest, and he knows which gates are weakest.
Everything he said in that scene about Stannis is also true about himself. He knows King's Landing. He knows its weaknesses. He was the one that was trying to figure out how to defend King's Landing. Therefore, he may know how to get around any and all defenses that may be made by Cersei. Now, the most interesting scene is from the very next episode, right before the battle at Blackwater Bay started. This is when Varys brings Tyrion the maps of all the secret tunnels under King's Landing.
The map you asked for.
Must be 20 miles of tunnels beneath the city.
Closer to 50. The Targaryens built this city to withstand a siege.
So as you can see, he knows the secrets of King's Landing. Like I said earlier, we know there will be another battle for the Iron Throne. Not only will their soldiers attack the city, but we will most likely see a dragon attack the city. However, that doesn't mean Cersei will come outside. I don't think she will leave the city no matter how bad things get, and she may even try to blow up King's Landing herself. So they may have to get someone inside to kill Cersei and or Qyburn as soon as they can. Now, there is still one other way they can do this. Even if Tyrion Lannister and Varys would betray Dany, or they die some other way, they might still be able to gain access inside of the Red Keep without anyone knowing they're there. We saw someone else sneaking around the Red Keep all the way back in the first season. This was when we saw Arya Stark chasing around the cat down in the dungeons of the Red Keep. This was also when Arya overheard Varys and Illyrio talking about Daenerys Targaryen. She eventually finds her way back outside by following the drain system. That drain emptied right out onto the water. Arya Stark might be able to do that again, only instead of finding her way outside, she can backtrack and go into the dungeons of the Red Keep. Since that drain emptied right out onto the water, all they would need to do is wait until the middle of the night. Then have Arya take a little boat right up to that drain. We already saw Theon Greyjoy do something very similar in the first episode. If he was able to sneak onto the Silence, then Arya or whoever else should be able to get into that drain without anyone noticing. As soon as she gets inside, she can kill one of the guards and wear their face.
A boy becomes a girl.
I was always a girl.
And I was always aware. But the girl keeps secrets. It is not for a man to spoil them.
You're one of them now.
Then she could either go kill Cersei, or she can let some of the other characters inside. I think this would be a clever way of getting to Cersei without her even knowing it was happening. We could see Tyrion Lannister tell everyone how to do this to get back some of his respect. Or we could see Arya Stark be able to use her Faceless Men skills one more time before the series is over. Either way, I think it could work. Also, let us not forget, Arya Stark still has Gregor Clegane and Cersei Lannister on her list. Some fans say she will kill Cersei Lannister this season, and some even say she will do this while she wears Jaime Lannister's face. Now, I don't know about all that, but I do think it would give her a way inside that Cersei may not expect. Let me know what you think about this idea. Do you think it could work, or will they just knock the damn castle down? Leave your thoughts down below in the comment section. Before I go, I do want to thank the sponsor of today's video one more time. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. You can use Squarespace right now to help build your own website. Now, some of you may think creating your own website is not very easy to do, but that's one of the many great things about Squarespace. They make their service very easy to use and understand, even for someone like me. Squarespace has an all-in-one platform that even provides 24/7 customer support. If you were thinking about building your own website, I would highly recommend that you go to squarespace.com for your first free trial. As soon as you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/talkingthrones to save 10% off your first purchase. Go to the description of the video to find their link. I would really appreciate that. Anyways, I want to thank everyone for stopping by to watch the video, and I also want to thank everyone who supports the channel on Patreon. I hope to see you all come back for my next breakdown video. I'll see you soon. Bye.